welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Ella. I film fun college lifestyle and beauty videos, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about rushing a sorority as a woman of color. So yeah, before we jump into this video, make sure to subscribe down below. I upload every Monday and Friday, and if you guys like today's video, make sure to give a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This is a topic that I have never come across on YouTube, never seen on TikTok, never seen on Instagram, that is not talked about in books, in media, movies, anywhere. I can't find anything about it. So I was like, I need to speak on this. I just need to have thoughts be known. So yeah, and if this video can be helpful to even just one young girl rushing a sorority, my job is done. So yeah, to start out, my first kind of just like tip and things that I think you should do if you are a woman. This works for everyone, but especially for women of color rushing a sorority. When you, like, I know recruitment is digital this year, but you still will be talking to chapter women, and when you go in and have those conversations, I think that you need to be asking those hard-hitting questions. What does diversity mean to you? How does your chapter promote inclusivity? What is your chapter doing to be more diverse? Like, ask those hard-hitting questions and see their responses, and don't ask them just of one girl, ask them of many girls, because one person doesn't represent the chapter. But try and get as many answers as you can for some of those hard-hitting questions. Also, like, look at their social media. Their social media is not everything, and I will say that. Social media is just an image that the chapter creates. It's not in any way that's like ride or die or like 100% like everything, but it doesn't hurt to look at, like, do they have a lot of women of color on their media, and even just look around the room, do they have a lot of women in color in here, things like that. So yeah, I think something that wouldn't be able to be as applicable in the past, or not applicable, but I guess asked in the past, but I think should be asked now, is how was your chapter's response to the Black Lives Matter movement? Did your chapter post about it? Did your chapter donate money? Did your chapter go to protests? Like, Black Lives Matter is not a political statement. It is a humanitarian right. It is everyone on this earth deserves the same rights to feel safe and to feel welcomed and to feel accepted, because we are all just human, and it is wrong and disgusting how much racism has just been able to thrive, like, for hundreds of years. It's the worst. So I think those are some good questions to ask and good things to look at and take notes about. Next thing would be is to really talk to your RCs, or we call them RCs, some school call them programs, and talk to them about any concerns that you have, like about hazing or just not feeling accepted, because they give up their letters, so you don't even know what chapter they're from. So like, they have no reason to be biased or say anything weird. And I definitely talked to my RCs about this. I loved my RCs. They were so cool and so chill, and that's how every RC should be. If they're trying to shove their opinions down your throat, then they don't need to be an RC. But so just make sure that you're like really communicating to them and talking to them, because I think that they can give you a lot of insight, because during recruitment there is so many rumors and people talk, and it's usually just girls who either got dropped from a house and they have negative things to say about it, or it's, oh, like, my sister's in this house, so like I already know all the tea about them, like things like that. So I honestly just ignore it and create the opinion for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're going to be the one in that chapter, and those are going to be the friendships you make. So I think it should be about how you feel and what you think. And if you think one chapter is great and you don't like another, but your friend likes that other, that's 100% fine. So yeah. And another point I have is, if you ever feel unsafe, or that this chapter has like haters, or what is it, like hate, if you think that like they've spoken anything about hazing or hate crimes or racism, and you just don't feel comfortable there, speak up. Do not be silent about it, because that is one of the biggest issues, is that things come out so much later because people are afraid to call out Greek life. And as a member of Greek life, like, I have even been like, oh, like, I don't know if someone should say that, but like, the truth needs to be heard, and it doesn't matter like that like you could be dropped from that house, or that house could be kicked off campus. If they did something wrong to you, it should be known, and you need to tell your RC. You also need to tell, you need to make them go with you to tell the people in charge, like your Panhellenic exec board, so then it can go, you know, it's going to the highest positions possible. So then real change can be done, whether that's conferencing that chapter, figuring out what happened, going over the conversation, kicking that chapter off campus, whatever it may be. It needs to be talked about, needs to be discussed, because things like racism stuff should just, it cannot slide anymore. It shouldn't have ever slid, ever, but especially in 2020, it is wrong and immoral and disgusting, and it needs to end. So yeah, that's kind of just my thoughts that I think that everyone, especially all women of color, should know before rushing a Panhellenic sorority. So yeah, and then some things that people ask me a lot in my DMs on Instagram are just kind of my experiences. I get DMs on the regular, and if you're anyone who has ever DM'd me, thank you so much for coming to me and feeling that you can trust me and talk to me. So I love you and I support you, and if you ever have any questions that you're too afraid to ask in my comments, feel free to DM me on my Instagram, or like email me. My email is also down in there, and feel free to ask me any questions that you may be too afraid to ask someone else, because I will answer your questions and be extremely private and discreet about them. So yeah, some questions I get is, I get a lot is, did I face any racism or discrimination going through recruitment? No, I'm extremely blessed and lucky to say that no chapters were like, we're not gonna take you because you're Indian. Like, I'm so lucky and blessed, and I had no mean snide comments, that I know of, made about me just because I'm brown. Like, and I know that is not the case for everyone, so I'm extremely lucky and blessed to be able to say that, and I'm aware of that. So yeah, my next thing is, yes, it can be very intimidating and kind of uncomfortable going through recruitment as a woman of color, just because there are so few women of color who go through Panhellenic recruitment. That was something I was kind of in shock about, going through recruitment, like, I'm the only person in my color group, what is this? But in my opinion, as a woman of color, we need to start breaking down these walls, breaking down the barriers that society has put up for so long. Like, it is our time to shine and to be there and just be able to take over the world. So if you are a young woman of color watching this, you have a place in society, you are valued, you are appreciated, you are loved, and at the end of the day, rushing a sorority is about making friends, and these girls that you go through recruitment with are going to become your best friends, and they're going to be so amazing and so nice, and that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants someone who's going to love them and support them, and someone to have fun with, someone to go grab lunch with. Like, that's all that you want, and that's what you should be able to find in Greek life. So yeah, my question that I've gotten a couple times is, do I think Texas State is diverse and inclusive in their Greek life? Do I think that they are extremely diverse? No. But do I think that they are striving and doing better and better every single year? Yes. Like, especially if you know Texas State is considered like a party school. It is considered like just insane membrane, and one, I think any school can be considered a party school, but I think just the reputation that it had from like the 80s and 90s just stuck. But it is what it is. We have cute merch, so I was like, okay. But I think that's just one of the reputations that has really stuck, and our Greek life has had issues in the past, but I'm lucky by the time I have gotten here, all of those issues pretty much have been resolved. But I do think every single year they are becoming more diverse and becoming more inclusive. They are learning just like the rest of society. Do I think it is sad that people have to learn to accept one another? Yes. But learning and growing to accept one another is the best possible thing that can happen right now, and I think it is the most, like, it's pretty much all you can ask of people is to learn to understand you, to learn to accept you, to learn to love you. So I think that Texas State is taking great steps to get to where it should be, and hopefully 10, 15 years, or even just in a 3-4 years from now, I think it'll just be amazing. And something that I definitely noticed, like when I would look up going through recruitment, like there's always like girls clapping, like I would always look for girls who looked like me, and I think it's really important. Like, after I rushed and I was a recruiter this past year, like when I would see those eyes of those young brown girls immediately go to me, because they would see me and I'd be like, yes, like you can find your home here, you will be accepted, you will be loved, like, and I want that for everyone, and I want that for every single girl in every chapter to find that. So it's pretty much my thoughts on everything. I hope this video made sense. I feel like I rambled a little bit, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to put these thoughts out there. There are things that have just been on my mind for a while. If you guys have any questions, comments, any of that, make sure to leave them down below, or if it's anything that you're too afraid, like I said earlier, you can always DM me or email me. If you guys want to see more of me, just more of my college life and just being an intern and a sorority girl and all of the crazy things I do, make sure to subscribe down below. And if you guys want to, you can always follow me on my other social media. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today's video. Bye everyone.